I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more. They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum. You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit. Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Yes. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
There you are. Wanted to talk to you. You and I, we've... You know how sometimes you spend time with people and things? Well, I'll be shaved skin and hung up to dry. It's too soon, though, lady. Too soon. I just wanted to ask a favor. I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. The girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously. What? Oh, you mean were we rutting? Oh, aye. After Bronca left for the deep roads. Name's Felsi. She was a fiery one. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living. Last I heard, she was gonna live with her mother on the surface, near some lake. Clean Bad Lake, was it? Yeah, I sod it, I don't remember. No, I think it was Clean Bad. I remember because I thought, yeah, that's right. Dirty good, clean bad. Yeah. But thanks for offering to take us there. You're a good friend, Warden. No, what was it you wanted to say? What about? Well, what do you think? I mean, she was my wife. I spent 2 years trying to save her while she was off boffing that tramp and feeding my cousins to the Darkspawn. Now she has everything she's ever wanted, and I'm here. I guess I could use a bit of the old mortar and pestle if you're digging my trench. Yeah, you said it. I was starting to think of my pants as a home away from home. You want to get moving now? My throat's sore from all this relating.
Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm?
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Oh, it's not just that. Well, I'm sure that's part of it. But it's not only that. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings? Then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior, but obviously this is their own stupidity talking. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
What do you need? Ask away. Such as they are. I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere. Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go. I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Logain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us. That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands. Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the Blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
I'm here for you. Of course. Wait, you want to talk about us? Is there something bothering you? Really? You think so? You're so sweet.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound Warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone. Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I, should probably have told you earlier. I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Arl Eamon, exactly? I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Arl Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose. Ha! Yes, I guess it does at that. I should use that line more often. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry. Look, I said I'm sorry. I know I should have said something. It's never brought me anything but problems. I wish it weren't even true. Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. He loved her a great deal. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though. If you're picturing that, I slept in hay out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall, and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually he just stopped coming. Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. Now, if there's an heir to be found, it's Arl Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Welcome to the club.
thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us? The Arl? Then you don't know? Has nobody out there heard? We heard news about the king and all the fighting. That was before everything started here. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Is anyone surprised? Anyone?
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Arlemon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
Oh, good eye.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan. Though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news!
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Tern Loghain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things.
I refer to Cailan, of course. Our sister was Queen Rowan, King Merrick's wife and Cailan's mother. Make her rest her soul.
So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault. Some call them the Walking Dead, decomposing corpses returning to life with a hunger for human flesh. They hit again the next night. Each night they come, with greater numbers. With Cailan dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arleman.
I know Alistair, and I trust those he chooses to travel with. What do you say? By all means. The castle is closed to us, its doors barred. We could storm it certainly, but what would that accomplish? Our numbers are too few. We cannot throw men at the castle walls when they are needed to protect the village. I tried. Our one attempt at an organized evacuation resulted in an immediate attack. Yesterday I found out these creatures attack those fleeing on their own, even during daytime. Whatever lies in the castle wants this village dead. Once the village is safe, we will try to enter the castle to find the source of this trouble. Then you will help us?
Good. As long as there's a bloody battle, I say let's wade into the middle of it.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle. Of course. I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes? Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more. Sir Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss. I'm not here for glory. I would prefer being outside, but Perth has a point. We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible. Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Let us pray. Blessed art thou who exists in the Maker's sight. Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness.
Dear boy. Gone on a long trip.
Blessed is the prophetess, his daughter, sacrificed.
I'm scared, Mother. When are the bad men coming?
Soon, darling.
You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Korkari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened. But I haven't heard from them since. I am. You've heard of me? Oh? Oh, his lockbox. If you're bringing me this... Oh no. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for bringing this to me. It means a lot to... Maker's blessings upon you.
I want to go home. Where's Father? I can't go home.
Sorry. Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet. Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere. And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too. He said something about saving Mother. He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone. I hope he didn't try to go to the castle. Oh, that would be awful. I went to our house. It's by the square. He wasn't there. I searched the rest of the village too. I called and I called, but he never answered. I wonder if he ran off into the woods. I'm so worried. Without me, he has nobody. I have nothing. Everything we owned is in our house. If you found my brother, I would be eternally grateful. Oh, please, couldn't you look for him? I'm begging you. You will? Thank you so much. Please find him.
Surface air.
What is that smell? Fish? There's something else. Oh, more fish.
Are there pigeons here? I think we should look for them.
You know, we don't have the men we need. And their numbers just keep growing each night.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I didn't think they made women Grey Wardens. If you hadn't noticed, there aren't darkspawn around these parts. Not yet, anyway. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village. providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight. My men are certain enough as it is that they'll die tonight. They don't need me quivering in my boots. My death will come soon enough. It don't need me hurrying it along. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge. We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help. His daughter, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, so he hasn't heard from her since this whole business started. He demanded we attack the castle, break down the gate, and force our way in. I said it was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He's locked himself in the smithy now. I can't force him to do repairs. He said he'd rather die first. Not by nightfall, and not well enough that I'd be happy to test it in combat. If there were others, don't you think I'd ask them? We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwin in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses. He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us.
Yeah, blasted cloud gazers. All this air must have turned them into stone-blind weaklings with the stomachs of elven women.
We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out. Shouldn't you be trying to reason with Owen? Morale's about what you'd expect. These men aren't soldiers. They're villagers defending their homes, and they're frightened. It would help if we had decent equipment. There weren't enough swords in Owen's shop, and the men's armor is nearly falling off. I don't think we're in any shape to fight. We'll do our best, of course, but, well, I have my doubts. I hope Owen has a change of heart. If we can get some good weapons, we might actually live to see tomorrow. Right. Let's hope we see morning.
Go away. Curse you! Leave me in peace! You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left. Alright, just don't destroy anything, damn you!
Misery, vomit, and malt liquor. Reminds me of home.
Somebody's been drinking.
So, I open the door. I've got nothing of value for you. The militia's taken whatever I had. So if you're here to beat on a sad old man, then all I ask is you get on with it. I don't have much to live for as it is. Why should I help Murdoch when he won't help me? My girl, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone! Why not? It's not like we're going to live past the night anyhow. Or are you going to save us? Is that so? Maybe it's the drink talking, but you almost sound like you believe that. Tell you what, if you want me to do repairs for Murdoch and his men, promise me you'll go into the castle and find my daughter. Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either. I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can. I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least. Right then. It seems I have some work to do relighting the forge, and I suppose I'll have to find some iron. Maybe at the mill. Oh, Murdoch just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs and get them done by nightfall. If you need anything done, well, just let me know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home. No, have to run the place. It's not like I could stop people like you anyway. The name's Dwyn. Pleased to meet you. Now, kindly tell me why you're here. So what? You recruiting for him? I'll tell you what I told Murdoch. I'm not risking my neck for this town. Maybe. Let's hear what you've got. Oh, lady. I know better than to melt when a pretty girl bats her eyes at me. How long do you think I've been doing this? You might just be able to pull that off. Fine. I'll throw in with the militia. For now. You better be out there too when the sun goes down. I'm not fighting for a lost cause, you hear me?
As you desire. Lovely.
What are you doing? All right, I'll come out. Please, don't hurt me. I'll go back to the Chantry if you want. I didn't mean any harm. It's Bevan. My sister is Caitlin. She's probably at the Chantry looking for me. Yes. It was my mother's house. She's dead now. And Caitlin said we have to move away if we survive. I can't tell you. It's a secret. You could. Alright, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's. And Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother. Thank you, miss. But the sword is too heavy for me. I guess I'm not as strong as I thought I was. In the chest, in Mother's room. Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone. I guess you're right. I should help defend the village, shouldn't I? Father would have if he were here. Oh, alright. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people. I should go back to the chantry. Good luck.
Stop fidgeting.
I don't like being out here doing...
Well, it looks like Owen's finally doing the repairs we need. The damn fool is falling over drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bantig and the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget. Thanks for persuading him to come out here. He's going to be a great help. I just know it. There's not much time before sundown. The men's spirits are high for now. Far better than I expected, to be honest. Dwin's presence makes the men a bit more confident. It helps to know a veteran is on our side tonight. Since you convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now. That is a relief, let me tell you. Overall, I'd say the militia's very ready to fight. Never thought I'd say that, but there you go. Is there anything else? You'll find him and his men at the mill by the bridge, to the north. I have a good feeling about tonight.
Well, he should. Because you're a good-for-nothing liar and a thief.
Would the drunken dwarf have saved its former wife if it could? I assumed that since the drunken dwarf was a master of the inappropriate, it lacked the ability to actually be offended.
Good call. Truth is, I don't know. She was almost crazier than when we were married, it looked like.
Almost. It is exaggerating, surely.
Branka was always a bit twitchy. There was that day she took her forging hammer to my head for misplacing her tongs. Good times.
I'm finding the nature of its relationship to this Branka difficult to imagine.
Make-up sex. She really knew how to polish the old anvil, if you take my meaning. Aragon. Yeah.
I'm done imagining now.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Bantegan is to see you here. I must admit, I do not know how to address an elf in your position. I do not wish to be rude. Please take no offense then, my good woman, for I meant none. I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost. No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly? Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime? We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered. No, nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the Mayor, Murdoch, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are. Ask me whatever you wish. When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, our lesser Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferelden. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here. We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. He brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish. The Owl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferelden, or so I was told. Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks. Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood. As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Another doomed soul come to drown their sorrows here, I see. If you came here for a drink, you'll have to talk to Lloyd. He's got a vice grip on the spigots. I'm just here to keep the boys from mutiny. Not much. He's very quiet. Says his name's Beric and he's here to meet his brother, but I think he's lying. He's a bit creepy. Later on, yes. Lloyd will lock himself in the cellar, and I'll go to the Chantry. Are you fighting tonight? That's good to hear. I didn't know that. What business? Without the castle soldiers, the only customers we have are local, and they're all in the militia with no money to spend. The few with any money are here, but it's not enough to justify working. Lloyd's a greasy pig, and if I didn't need this job so badly, he gropes me and pays me next to nothing. But I suppose it could be worse. Not like I've got many options. No, that'll just make things worse. And that's very sweet, but I'll be fine. I'd like that. And maybe we could talk after the battle tonight. If we're still here, that is. Keep safe.
Not looking for company. We have nothing in common. You're Dalish. I'm not here to talk. Just leave me to drink, all right? I just want to be left alone. I said I'm not looking for company. What? How did you know that? Well, that's my name. Why? No reason. I just didn't know how you knew my name, that's all. My what? Oh, yes. He was supposed to meet me here. And then I got stuck here when monsters from the castle attacked. I was told I didn't have to. I stay in the chantry at night, and I come here to be alone, that's all. Look, you're very pretty and all, but I was told to... just leave me alone. Nothing! Nobody told me to do anything. Just because you're a Grey Warden doesn't mean you can go around threatening people. I'm not here to hurt anyone, I swear. I'll tell you what you want to know, just don't kill me! This is more than I bargained for. Look, they just paid me to watch the castle and send word if anything should change. But they never said anything about monsters. I haven't even been able to report anything since this started. I'm stuck, same as you, I swear. Here, this is a letter from them. It has instructions and everything. Keep it, do whatever you want with it. I just thought I was serving the king and making a bit of coin on the side. You have to believe me. No! I'm not dying here!
Argren wins again.
Hello there, friend. Can't say we've ever met before. Stranger to the village, I take it. Haven't had many travelers lately. All this nonsense is bad for business. Bet you regret coming, yes? A shame, isn't it? Evil creatures and such. Everyone going to perish before sunrise. Makes you thirsty, doesn't it? So, what'll it be? You are here to drink, I hope. Name's Lloyd. We don't get many elves out here. You're run away from the city. That's so. I've heard about them. Never seen one in my entire life, though. Something else I can get for you? Right, I've got some supplies, too, in case you're interested. With the store closed down, it doesn't hurt to pick up some of the slack, eh?
That looks fine indeed.
Hey, what can Lloyd get you? Fine. Make them quick. I'm not abandoning my tavern because of a few monsters. The second I'm in the chantry, Murdoch and his men will be here drinking all my ale. Not a lot. Castle guards stopped coming in about a week back. It's unusual, too. They were my main source of business.
After a few days, I thought it strange enough to ask. But nobody heard anything. Anyone going up to the castle didn't come back. When the first attack hit, I locked myself in the cellar. I say we just wait for help to come. Why? When them creatures attack, I lock myself in the cellar. Just batten the hatches and wait it out. What's the point in getting myself killed with all the rest of them? If that makes me a coward, then I'm a coward. But Van Tegan said we didn't have to. He said... Fine, I'll go. But all of this better be here when I get back. I don't want the place drunk out from under me. Blasted bloody...
I'm so scared, Father. What are we going to do?
Hear you? You are of elven blood and a stranger, yet you defend a home that is not your own. We are grateful for that. Many elves claim we wouldn't do the same in return. I would like to think that is not true, but I cannot speak for all. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task? I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give. Sir Perth believes that I can protect them against these creatures, a shield only the Maker can provide, and that I withhold this power.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that. I suppose their belief in the Maker's power could inspire them, but it just seems like trickery. Very well. If it keeps them alive, I will do what I must. I have a number of silver-cast holy symbols. Tell Sir Perth that he can have them, and that wearing them will confer the Maker's protection. Now please, let me tend to these poor folk. I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.
Bevan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you. Bevan told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it, then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least. Use it well. If we survive, I'll gladly take it back. Thank you again for Bevan. With my mother gone... well, I'm just glad he's safe. I can't thank you enough. The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
The Knights of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal. Have you spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything? If they are the same as the symbols worn by their priests, well, that would more than suffice. I will send some men to collect the amulets. Please give my regards to Mother Hannah for seeing some sense at last. There is still time before the sun goes down. If you have not yet spoken to Murdoch, or if there is anything you have planned... Good luck to you then, and may the Maker watch over us all. It's time, men. Know that we fight for the Maker and our arm. Light the traps. Burn these foul creatures.
attacking from the lake! They're attacking the barricades! We need help! Come on! We need to hurry!
Dawn arrives, and we survived the night. We are victorious. And though this victory came at great cost, we must remember none of us would be here were it not for the heroism of these good folk beside me. I thank you, dear lady. Truly the Maker smiled on us when he sent you here in our darkest hour.
Let us bow our heads and give honor to those who gave their lives in defense of Redcliffe. Now they walk with he who is their maker. Long may they know the peace of his love.
With the Maker's favor, the blow we delivered today is enough for me to enter the castle and seek out your Arl. Be wary and watch for signs of renewed attack. We shall return with news as soon as we are able. Now, we've no time to waste. Meet me at the mill. We can talk further there.
You saved us. I can't believe we're alive. And it's finally over. That's what everyone is saying. We might have to evacuate the village if those Darkspawn come closer. It just seems so horrible. With Mother and Father both gone, I suppose they'll send us to an orphanage, maybe separated. At least we're both alive. I won't forget what you did, though. Neither of us will. Thank you. I can't take it back. If you need it, keep it. Grandfather would want it in the hands of a hero. I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevan. I couldn't ask you for money. That's incredibly kind of you. This is more than I ever dreamed of. With this, I can hire a wagon to take us to Denerim. We have family there, and they'll take us in for sure now. Come on, Bevan, let's find one now. Make her watch over you. I'll never forget you.
There are many gone who we must honor. But we must also remember those who aided us in our darkest hour.
Good day.
Well, all right.
I'm still amazed we made it through the night in one piece and won. They'll be telling stories about this for years, I bet. Fighting's not over. We still have Darkspawn to battle, and if the Arl sends out the call, I'll be there for him. If you'll excuse me, I think I'll offer the Maker a bit of thanks for not choosing to be a wrathful god today. Good luck to you.
So we won the battle? If this is what war is like, with so many people hurt and dying, I don't want to think about what fighting the Darkspawn will be like. Van Tegan or Arl Eamon will be calling for volunteers soon, won't they? They'll need an army to fight in the south now. I'll go when they call me, I guess. I'm going to get drunk first, though, if you'll excuse me.
Heart, repent your sins before death! Beg for the Maker's divine forgiveness! I have repented. Oh, Maker! Forgive me my sins! Forgive my fellow brothers and sisters! Look upon us with kindness as we are swallowed by the darkness! You're right. The soldiers need to hear this. The ones fighting against the king. They must beg for forgiveness. They must repent. I will go and tell them. I will tell them salvation is possible.
As you desire.
I don't know how I survived that damnable mess out there, but I did. I suppose I owe you thanks. The men respect me now. I would never have gone out there if you hadn't shoved me. It feels good to help out. As much as it pains me to have a woman say that, I suppose I do. Listen, a soldier gave me this trinket some years ago as payment for his tap. He said it was magical. I didn't believe him then, but I think it helped keep me alive out there. You should have it. It might do the same for you sometime. Yes, well, don't go spreading news that I gave you something for free. Then everyone will want something from me. Anyhow, it's good to be back. I don't want to be in battle again anytime soon. Know what I mean? If it isn't the hero of the day, what can I get you? Right, I've got some supplies too, in case you're interested. With the store closed down, it doesn't hurt to pick up some of the slack, eh?
I admit, for a while, I didn't think either of us would survive. It's good to see you did. Anything I can get you? Good luck to you then.
I am told that it lost a large number of comrades in the battle with the Darkspawn.
Me? I guess I did, yes. I didn't know all of them that well. Mostly just...
I'm unfamiliar with this name.
It's not important. You don't need to know who it was.
I cannot remember if I ever had anyone important to me. All I remember is being given orders.
I would gladly be following Duncan's orders right now.
It enjoys following others. I find that odd.
You wouldn't understand. Don't worry, I don't expect you to.
Ah, odd how quiet the castle looks from here. You would think there was nobody inside at all. But I shouldn't delay things further. I had a plan. To enter the castle after the village was secure. There is a secret passage here, in the mill, accessible only to my family. Perhaps I should have gone into the castle earlier, but I could not leave the villagers. Maker's breath.
Tigan, thank the Maker you yet live.
Isolde, you're alive. How did you... What has happened?
I do not have much time to explain. I slipped away from the castle as soon as I saw the battle was over, and I must return quickly. And I need you to return with me, Tigan. Alone. What? Who is this woman, Tigan?
You remember me, Lady Isolde, don't you?
Alistair. Of all the... Why are you here?
They are Grey Wardens, Isolde. I owe them my life.
Pardon me, I would exchange pleasantries, but... Considering the circumstances...
Please, Lady Isolde, we had no idea anyone was even alive within the castle. We must have some answers.
I know you need more of an explanation, but I don't know what is safe to tell. Tigan, there is a terrible evil within the castle. The dead waken and hunt the living. The maid responsible was caught, but still it continues. And I think Connor is going mad. We have survived, but he won't flee the castle. He has seen so much death. You must help him, Tegan. You are his uncle. You could reason with him. I do not know what else to do. He is being kept alive so far, thank the Maker.
Kept alive? Kept alive by what?
Something the Mage unleashed. So far it allows Eamon, Connor, and myself to live. The others were not so fortunate. It killed so many, and turned their bodies into walking nightmares. Once it was done with the castle, it struck the village. It wants us to live, but I do not know why. It allowed me to come for you, Tegan, because I begged, because I said Connor needed help. I do not know. Oh, Maker's mercy. Could it truly be a demon? I can't let it hurt my Connor. You must come back with me, Tegan. Please. I beg your pardon. That's a rather impertinent accusation. No, I did not mean... That is to say, Please, stop this. An evil I cannot fathom holds my son and the husband hostage. I came for help. What more do you want from me? Tegan, I do not have much time. What if it thinks I'm betraying it? It could kill Connor. Please come back with me. Must I beg? For Connor's sake, I promised I would return quickly and only with Tegan. Tegan, I know you could order your men to follow me when I return to the castle. I beg you not to. For Connor's sake.
The king is dead, and we need my brother now more than ever. I will return to the castle with you, Isolde.
Thank the Maker. Bless you, Tegan. Bless you.
I have no illusions of dealing with this evil alone. You, on the other hand, have proven quite formidable. Isolde, can you excuse us for a moment? We must confer in private before I return to the castle with you.
Please do not take too long. I will be by the bridge.
Here's what I propose. I go in with Isolde, and you enter the castle using the secret passage. My signet ring unlocks the door. Perhaps I will distract whatever evil is inside and increase your chances of getting in unnoticed. What do you say? Sir Perth and his men can watch for danger at the castle entrance. If you can open the gates from within, they can move in and help you. I don't think there's anyone else who can help you. If you choose not to go, then it's up to me to do what I can. Here is my signet ring. It will open the lock on the door in the mill. Whatever you do, Eamon is the priority here. If you have to, just get him out of there. Isolde, me, and anyone else, we are expendable. Greater evils have been loosed on the world, but I will not argue with you. But I can delay no longer. Allow me to bid you farewell, and good luck.